Thank you.
See you, bye. So the next speaker is Vincenzo Ferri, who is going to talk about bats in the city. Are you there?
Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Start whenever you like.
Okay. I hope that you hear my presentation that is made by my colleague Cristiana Soccini, and I start it.
Good.
Okay.
Chiroptera are European mammals with highest risk of extinction since they require the protection of multiple habitats due to their strong specialization, particular biology, and vulnerability to rapid changes in environment and interaction with anthropogenic activities. Among the main threats to the group's biodiversity are the alteration, fragmentation, and destruction of their hunting and refuge habitats, the increasingly massive use of biocides and other chemical treatments in agriculture, as well as climatic fluctuations, to which is added the direct persecution by man, fueled by poor scientific knowledge supplemented by stereotypes and prejudice. In particular, intensive agriculture can be considered one of the main causes of the reduction of European bats, which started during the second half of the 20th century due to the use of chemicals that drastically reduced the availability of prey. Bats are excellent bioindicators and can be used as ecological indicators of habitat quality. This possibility has been highlighted and promoted internationally by Eurobats and BatLife Europe, but more research is needed in this area. Research increasingly favored by progress of detection of methodologies such as the field of acoustic monitoring of bats, thanks to the availability of increasingly sophisticated space-saving and relatively inexpensive instruments, such as bat detectors and ultrasonic microphones. Urban waterways are important habitat for wildlife, including bats. Along them, there may be important roosting sites, as crevices in stonework of old and modern bridges, and they are also important foraging areas for these threatened mammals. In the course of a broader research on distribution and situation of Chiroptera populations, bioacoustic surveys were carried out to record the attendance and foraging activity of bats on waterways inside the city of Brescia. In urban context, rivers, streams, and drainage ditches represent the only line of ecological permeability and connection between residual elements of naturalness in this territory. Most of accessible sections in Brescia of Garza and Garzetta torrents, of Mela River, and of Naviglio Grande, Naviglio Cerca, and the Naviglio Inferiore, connected lateral canals, were surveyed. Some sections from historical times with a completely underground course have been monitored at the beginning and end of the underground section. In total, 25 stations. 12 stations characterized by moderate current, pebble and gravel bed, reduced depth and maximum width of 3 meters. 9 stations characterized by low current, maximum width of 2 meters, average depth of 60 centimeter, and silt or silt and sand bottom. 3 stations with cemented backdrop and up to 6 meters wide. In Table 1, we report characteristics of Garda Torrent stations. Some sections from historical times with a completely underground course have been monitored at the beginning and end of the underground section. Searches were carried out between months of May and September of 2019 in 25 stations with 13 bioacoustic detection sections and 75 locations of 4 hours, 3 replicas for each station, for a total of 300 hours of recording, using 6 audio ultrasonic microphones, 2 Ultramic 384K and 4 Ultramic 384K BLA Dodotronic with a sampling frequency of 384 kHz on SD memory cards in WAV files. In each station, we survey instrument what the survey instrument was positioned when possible at one of the banks of the waterway, alternatively on one of the sides of the bridge above its riverbed, and left in automatic registration in a not visible point. In the case of a disturbed site due to the presence of people, it was preferred to monitor the instrument and stop recording after at least 4 hours from activation. In general, devices have been programmed to activate half an hour after sunset and turn off half an hour before sunrise. In this work, only acoustic contacts recorded from the beginning of each section, 20:30, until 20:30 midnight, were considered for a total of 4 hours of detection. The sampling took place only on evenings with at least 10 degrees Celsius of air temperature, low wind speed -4 meters seconds, and without rain. Bats identification took place using bat sound version 4.03 petasons electronic, generating oscillograms, power spectrum, and spectrograms to measure different acoustic variables according to baratode. For analysis, the number of contacts per hour detected in each station was compared, considering an acoustic sequences lasting 5 seconds as a contact. Contacts were in turn divided into bus passes, transit without hunting activities, and feeding bars, pre-capture event, considering the latter as an indicator of feeding activity. Bioacoustic analysis of 1,113 recorded but passes allowed identification of 7 Chiroptera species, including Myotis dawentoni and Miniopterus schreibersi. Pipistrellus cooley, 57.32% of the BP, Ipsugosavi 21.02%, and Pipistrellus 16.08% were most common and ubiquitous species. General average of activity index detected was 3.71 BP per hour with a maximum of 8.67 BP per hour at the Garza Torrent, Leonardo da Vinci Street, and a minimum of 0.92 BP per hour at the Mella River, Crotte Bridge. Only 3 species of bats have carried out a significant forensic activity around the study areas. Pipistrellus cooley, 56.13%, Ipsugosavi, 22.58%, and Pipistrellus pipistrellus, 21.29%. Maximum forensic index was 1.5 FB per hour at the Garza Torrent, Battisti Place, and a minimum of 0 FB per hour at the Garza Torrent. Simultaneous use of ultrasonic detectors at the ends of investigated underground section of Garza Torrent has proved that bats do not roost there, but they go on undercovered sections to feed flying invertebrates. Culicidae, Tipulidi, Chironobidi, and Simulidi, in emergency from water or flying towards surrounding public lights. Riverbed of studied waterways is abundantly artificial with bank defense or hydrogeological defense works, which reduce the habitats suitable for aquatic fauna and often prevent their movements. The quality of the water, due to past and often still present pollution from civil and industrial wastewater, is still particularly critical, and only short stretches are of medium quality. This state of affairs is certainly not congenial to the frequentation of Chiroptera. Results of our research, however, ascertained a fair frequentation by Chiroptera of the monitored waterways, in particular of the Garza Torrent stations in Brescia, where at least 6 species were contacted. Results also confirm the validity of this new methodological approach, namely bioacoustic research of present Chiroptera, for the evaluation of ecological quality of small and large waterways belonging to a large metropolitan reality, in our case of the city of Brescia. Comparison between different sites allows to concentrate research attention and the necessary management and conservation intervention toward those with minor bats activity and forensic index. However, our analyses show a general low attendance of these threatened mammals and the urgency to apply generalized conservation interventions as widely reported in the specifically Lombardy Regional Action Plan. Thanks for attention.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
thank you.
So if you have question to ask to Vincenzo, please do it through the chat or raising your hand.
No.
Well, we should wait because sometimes it's a bit of time to ask a question. So maybe waiting for question, I can ask one which is not directly about acoustics, but I wonder, did you have the support of the city administration? Are you in contact with the city? Do they help to do this kind of studies?
No. We have the municipality of Brescia, a very industrial city, began now with tourism, and so river only in the recent months have the important attention of the statement and of the administration. We have only attention to vulnerability or probability of this river or little torrents. No attention to biodiversity, and so we have ever more problems for all the fauna, not only bats.
Okay, it's a pity. Thank you. Any questions? No. And so it was very interesting to learn that water could be a connectivity importance for bats. Maybe I missed it, but what about the light pollution around these water bodies? Is it more than in other places in the city?
No, the problem are the the little insects flying over the water. They eat ephemera, they eat some diptera, and I think also some Plecoptera in the major good water quality. But I see that near Mella River, we haven't flying insects for the bad quality of the river.
Okay.
So the problem is the pollution, is impossibility for these insects to live.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to all to your attention.
Is there a question? No? Okay.